Okay, go ahead and take a deep breath. Right now, the air, it probably looks totally clean, right? But what if it's hiding something? An invisible threat? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and see what's really in the air you're breathing every single day.
You know, we spend so much time thinking about the food we eat, the water we drink, but what if the biggest thing affecting your health and maybe even your grades is invisible and filling this very room right now?
Yeah, when someone says air pollution, what do you picture? Probably like smoggy cities, factory smokestacks, right? But here's the crazy part. Scientists say we spend about 90% of our time inside. And indoors, the pollution can actually be 2 to 5 times worse. The real danger? It might be right here, hiding in plain sight.
So to really get this, let's zoom in on a pretty shocking discovery that was made right here in Korea. And it all starts with something you probably have in your kitchen, a simple toaster.
That's right. Researchers at Busan National University did a study that really made people sit up and pay attention. They started looking at all these common things we have in our homes and what they're actually putting into the air.
They were looking for something specific, called ultrafine particles, or UFPs for short. And the key thing here is their size. It's what makes them so dangerous. I mean, these things are tiny. So small that they can sneak right past your lungs' natural defenses and go straight into your bloodstream. And from there, they can travel to basically any organ in your body.
And the numbers they found are just wow. Get this, a regular pop-up toaster, not even toasting bread, just heating up, can release up to 1.73 trillion of these particles every single minute. That's a hard number to even imagine.
And hey, it's not just the toaster. We're talking air fryers, even your hair dryer. Basically, these gadgets shed tiny bits of heavy metals like copper and aluminum from their heating parts. And the study makes a really important point. Kids are the most at risk because their lungs are smaller, so the particles can get lodged deeper.
Okay, so particles from our gadgets are one thing, but there's something else we need to worry about. It's a gas that we produce with every single breath, carbon dioxide. And when we're all stuck inside, it just builds and up, which leads to a problem that has a pretty memorable name, breath backwash.
So let's just quickly look at what these numbers mean. Outside, the CO2 level is about 425 parts per million. Pretty low. Inside, you want to be under 1,000. That's considered good. But in a stuffy classroom or a crowded dorm room, oh man, it can easily shoot up to 1,500, 2,500, sometimes even higher.
And here's what that breath backwash really means. When the CO2 level hits 2,500 ppm, it means that 1 in every 17 breaths you take is literally someone else's exhaled air. Yeah, think about that for a second, especially next time you're stuck in a packed lecture hall. And this isn't just gross, right? It actually messes with your brain. Studies show that at just 950 ppm, your cognitive function starts to drop. At 1400 ppm, which is super common in schools, test scores can literally fall by 50%. And by 2500, that's when you get that sleepy, headachy feeling. You know, like you get on a long airplane flight? So you'd think, okay, a new, modern, green building would be better, right? Well, not so fast. A lot of these super energy-efficient places are designed to be almost perfectly sealed to save energy. And the result? They just end up recirculating the same old, stale, CO2-packed air over and over. They can actually be some of the worst places for air quality. All right, I know that was a lot of bad news, but here's the good part. You actually have a ton of power to change this. So let's talk solutions. Let's build your own clean air toolkit. So the single best, cheapest, and fastest thing you can do has another one of those great names, flush the air toilet. It sounds funny, but it's simple. It just means creating a cross draft. See, just opening one window doesn't help that much. But if you open a window on one side of your room and then a door or another window on the opposite side, you create this amazing airflow that just flushes out all that stale CO2 heavy air in like a couple of minutes. Okay, but what about air purifiers? A lot of people have HEPA filters. And look, they're great at what they do. They are fantastic for grabbing particles, all that dust, pollen, and yeah, even those UFPs we talked about. But here's the catch, and this is super important to remember. They do not remove gases, so they can't get rid of CO2. For that, you absolutely still need fresh air from outside.
Another big thing is just controlling the pollution at the source. It's pretty easy. First, leave your shoes at the door. They track in all sorts of nasty stuff. Second, that fresh laundry smell from some products, or scented candles. A lot of times that's from a bunch of chemicals called VOCs, which aren't great for you. Same goes for new furniture when it's off-gassing. And for all of these things, what's the simplest solution? You guessed it. Open a window and get some fresh air in there.
Okay, so we've gone through a lot here. Let's wrap up by boiling it all down to the 3 biggest takeaways you should remember.
Number 1.
The places you feel safest, your own room, your classroom, can actually be hotbeds of invisible pollution. Just because the air looks clean, please don't assume that it is.
Number 2. Remember breath backwash? That sleepy, foggy feeling you get in a stuffy room? It's not just in your head. It's real, and it is absolutely draining your brain power and hurting your ability to study.
And finally, number 3.
You are not helpless here. You have the power to fix this. You don't need a bunch of expensive gadgets. Simple things like flushing the air toilet can make a massive difference for your health. And yeah, probably even for your grades.
And that leaves us with one final question to think about. You know how restaurants get cleanliness ratings like A, B, or C, and buildings get ratings for energy use? So, what if our schools, our libraries, our dorms all had a public air quality rating? Do you think that would change things? Definitely something to discuss. Thanks so much for watching.